Powersheets it up. Hi everybody, welcome back to Fox's Best Laid Plans. I am your host Fox, and it is time for another monthly installment of my Powersheets. Ooh, that's really not that exciting. Hi, welcome back. The camera that I normally film on has a dead battery, and this is the only chance that I have to film. So I'm filming it on my phone, which is not quite the same quality, so I'm just kind of working with it. But anyway, I am going to go through with you my monthly tending list in my Cultivate What Matters Powersheets. I use this every month for goal setting. I used to say goal setting, but it's a lot more to like things that I want to do and get done, and it helps me stay accountable for those things. So let's take a rewind. I am pretty sure that I didn't film last month. I could be wrong. I think I did. Maybe it was July that I didn't film. There was a month I didn't film. So let's take a look at my tending list from the month of August, and we will see what I accomplished on that. So a lot of, if you remember, I had gallbladder removal surgery at the beginning of the month on August 5th. So most of my goals were sit and be fit related goals. So they were things that I could do while I was seated and recovering, because I was on an exercise restriction for 10 days from running, and then for 4 weeks from lifting or doing any kind of ab exercises. I couldn't lift anything more than like a gallon of milk. So I set my goals to be predominantly things that I could do while I was like seated and recovering at my bed desk, my scenic bed desk that I love so dearly. So my first goal was to finish editing all of our vacation photos. I did finish that, and I don't know why I didn't finish filling in the box for it, but I did finish that. All of the pictures from our trip to Maine with my parents are completely edited, and it was a wonderful time. If you only watch the Powersheets videos and you don't know and you haven't seen any of the Plan With Me's or the vlogs, my dad passed away a couple weeks ago on August 22nd. And so we had our wonderful trip to Maine and New England with my parents, and it was a great, wonderful time. And the day after we came back, he went into the hospital, and then it was like up and down. He was in and out of the hospital, and then finally came home on hospice at the end or the middle of August, and he passed on August 22nd. So having those memories was like just so good that we made that trip. It was just a wonderful trip, and I'm just so happy. So that was my first goal of the month, was to finish editing all the pictures, and I did. I don't know why I did not fill out the block in its entirety, but I did. Next up was to do my February 2020, yes, 2020 stories by the month. And I started this, so I gave myself partial credit for it, but I did not finish it. I really intended to do, let's put it this way. When the month of August started, I did not intend that it would be a month where my dad got so sick. Like he was scheduled for chemo, like everything was like normal, and then he got much sicker very suddenly. And so I really was not expecting this to be a month where he would be sick and he would be in the hospital, and I was like going to the hospital to visit him and staying at their house for a while, taking care of him, helping my mom. So some of the things that I thought I would have time for, I ended up not having time for because we needed to be there with my dad, and obviously that was the much more important thing. But I feel like I felt like I was going to have a lot more time in the month of August that I ended up having, but we could not have predicted that. Like he was doing really, really well on the trip, and it was just once he got back and the radiation, it was basically like the side effects from the chemo and the radiation, and then the brain tumors. That was what was, what brought about the end for him. And so we really had no idea that it was going to get that bad that fast. And so a lot of the time that I thought I was going to have in this month, I didn't have. Like, I was at their house, but it's like hard to set up my printer and everything. But I did work on my stories by the month a little bit, so that was nice. And basically, if I had known what I know now, then my goals for this month would have just been like, spend time with my dad, spend time with my mom, like it was a month where there was a very rapid shift in what was going on in my life. So I couldn't have predicted that, and so I'm going to try really hard not to get very emotional while I'm talking about this, because it's still super fresh and raw. And so I'm trying like really hard to be open about it and talk about it all the time, but I am saving that more for my vlogs and not for my Powersheets video. So I'm going to try to talk about it without getting too, you know. Anyway, so I thought I would have a lot more time to work on scrapbooking projects. I did get all of my scrapbooking supplies organized. That was in a vlog that I did, and that took like hours and hours, and I got that done. So that was really good. So I'm like well set up to start. It's just with the story by the month and the scrapbooking things, a lot of times I feel like I need to like sit down for like 2 hours and have like this long dedicated chunk of time. I don't really think that's actually accurate. I think that like I could do it in smaller chunks, but emotionally my brain is like, no, you have to have this big chunk of time. So it's hard for me to carve out that amount of time to sit down and work on things. So you'll see I didn't really carry any of the stories by the month or scrapbooking projects over to the month of September because I know that I don't have that kind of dedicated time, and I think I'm going to pick that back up in October. So then I wanted to work on my fitness journal. I just have like, I don't want to say that I've abandoned it because I want to go back and work on it still. Like I love the work that I've done so far on it, and I would love to have my whole year on my like fitness journey. But I just have not, again, it's with making time. It's like I have to dedicate the time, and I just don't seem to be doing that right now. So I didn't do any of that. So I did give myself partial credit for the stories by the month because I did do a few page spreads, but I didn't even pick up the fitness journal. I brought the supplies over knowing that, you know, we ended up living at my parents' house for about 2 weeks, helping out with my dad and then just kind of sticking around and keeping my mom company for the week after. And I brought all my supplies, and just like being in their house, and like especially when my dad was in his wheelchair, and like we had to make a lot of like changes to the layout of their house so that he could get through. There just really wasn't space for me to set it up. So I worked on some other creative projects and stuff while we were all hanging out. My mom and I a lot of times will do that we will be in the same room together but working on a creative project because she's a very creative person as well. So that was nice, like doing that. But it just, to set everything up, I really didn't have the space at their house that I thought I would. I thought like maybe I can put a table somewhere, and it just didn't happen. So again, not being carried over into September just because there's not time for it in September, but I will be planning to focus more on those, I think, in October. Get my gallbladder removed. Oh, I should have talked about my, I always forget to do this. Let me go back. Okay. As a refresher, this is not the right sheet. Hold on. I don't have the right sheet with me. Oh no, Fox. Why are you so bad at this sometimes? Oh well. I found it. As a refresher, I didn't do a quarterly refresh in the summer because I just kind of knew things were not right. So this is still my quarterly refresh in the spring. I chose 7 overarching goals. The first one being take better care of my body. It's a work in progress. Establish routines for mental and physical health, scrapbook and memory keep, kick ass at fitness, build a beautiful garden, explore my druid practice, and grow my YouTube channel. So those are my like overarching goals, and I did color code them. So the colors that are on, I don't know if you can see this, hopefully you can kind of see that. The colors that are on here correspond to the colors that I use in here. So obviously the first ones that I talked about were related to the scrapbooking and memory keeping, and I've always used so much blue because that was like something I really thought I could focus on a month whenever I was on exercise restriction. It just didn't work out that way because I wasn't at the house most of the time. So related to my goal of take better care of my body, I got my gallbladder removed. Farewell, sweet prince. It's been real and it's been fun, but it hasn't been real fun. And yeah, so that happened. It was pretty good. Surgery went pretty well. Everything recovery was good. Yeah, just kind of didn't feel good for a week, but then felt good after a week, because, you know, what you would expect from a major abdominal surgery that was performed laparoscopically outpatient. Yeah. Finished my 365 project for the year 2017. I didn't finish this, but I gave myself some credit because I came up with a new system that's working way better. Okay, so briefly, if you're new here, 365 Project it's an online, like kind of like a scrapbooking, but you choose one photo from every day and it organizes it into a calendar for you. And so you can see your picture and then you put a caption with it. You assign one photo to each date. And the goal is to take a picture every single day of the year. So I've been doing this since 2013. In 2017, I don't know what happened. I think probably it happened in 2016 because 2016 until 2021, 2016 until 2020, until 2021 was the worst year of my life. So we had a lot of loss. We had a bad year that year. And so probably what I'm guessing, if I remember correctly, is that like I fell off posting in the end of 2016. And then over the years, I've like gotten the rest of 2016 done. And then I started 2017. So I'm still on 2017. I know. But I came up with a better process this month of working on it that will make me be able to do it faster. And that process is just, rather than individually uploading every time I choose the photo, I'm just making copies of all the I'm choosing the photos, copying them into a folder, and then uploading in bulk. And that really speeds up the process. So that's like a game changer, if you will. So I gave myself partial credit because I did work on it. I did get another month and a half done. I just didn't get the whole rest of the year done. But I have plans. Next up was to content plan the month for this channel, and I did not do that because things changed. You know, I normally do a weekly vlog, and I just felt like it was weird to do a weekly vlog and cut things off and like leave everybody hanging about what was going on with my dad, and I was just like, I'm just going to do this whole extended process, and I was behind, and it just didn't happen. And like the things that I thought I wanted to post, they weren't the important thing this month. And so that's fine. So yeah, I'm not upset about that. I would like to do better content planning going forward, and I'm going to try to work on that. But yeah, I didn't do that this month. The next thing was related to my goal of taking better care of my body, and that was to do a radon test. And I have had this on here for months, literally months, and I just kept putting it off because I fucking hate going in our basement. That's what it is. I never go in our basement. We don't park near our basement. We don't have laundry in the basement. I go in the basement once a month maybe, and I just was like, no, I just don't want to do it. I just don't have the time. Finally, I did it. I sent it in. We're waiting for the results. So the reason, if you're new here, the reason the radon test is important, we live in a part of the country, Western Pennsylvania, where radon is very high in some of the homes. And if your radon levels are high, that increases your risk for small cell lung cancer. Small cell lung cancer is what my dad died from. And he had been a former smoker, but he hadn't smoked in over 30 years at the time that he was diagnosed. And so I have just concerns that radon may have been part of the situation. Whoa, almost lost my Powersheets. That radon may have been part of what happened, and so I was like, it's important for all of us to get a test. So next up is getting a test for my parents' house so that we can test to make sure I'm not going to be an orphan from small cell lung cancer. Like if it's radon, we're going to get, if they find radon in their house, we're going to, we will have to do some things. So I did submit ours. I'm just waiting. You basically do a test. It's at least 48 hours, no more than 96 hours. You leave these little vials exposed in your basement. They have to be a certain height off the floor and a certain distance away from the walls. And then you cap them, and then you send them in, you give them the times, and then they're going to analyze it. So it is at the lab right now, and I'm just waiting for results. And then if they do find that we have levels of radon, then we'll go to the next step, which I think would be a longer term test, because that's a short test, and then they can do one, I think that's over 6 months. I kind of remember this when we bought the house, that like that's an option. So that will be the next step if we do have radon. Just cross your fingers we don't have radon. I really hope we don't, but it's a concern. The more that I learned about it, it's the right thing to do. So I finally did it though. I finally did it after months and months and months and months of having it on here. I did it! I tested my house for radon. Adulting, y'all. Am I right? Like, you have a favorite burner. You have a route you take through the grocery store. and you test your house for radon, and it's very exciting. Yeah, it's all of us. So I also put in here, I'm going to do a chart for daily breakdown of projects. This was related to my memory keeping and scrapbooking goal. I kind of did that, so I gave myself a partial credit. I did do a final tally of how many photos I had left to edit, and something else. There was something else that I worked on. But I basically just wanted to know, like, if I had all of my creative projects in order, what would that order be? How long would it take me to work on them? How many would I need to do in a day? And I did part of that. I did the photo part of that, but I didn't really do the other things, which would be like my fitness journal and my 365 project and my stories by the month. So I gave myself a partial credit. Next up was also related to the scrapbooking memory keeping goal, which was to organize my week in the life ephemera so that I can eventually fucking do my scrapbooking of week in the life, which is another Allie Edwards project. And I did that. And it's a lot to go through. And it's going to be a lengthy project to do my week in the life. But I think it's going to turn out really cool. Like, going back and looking at December Daily, because I just filmed my December Daily flip through, I'm so glad that I did that. And I think once I put together the week in the life, I'm really, like, going to love it. But, like, right now, thinking about it, it feels like a massive undertaking. And I'm just like, do I have that energy? And then I also wrote on here, as my final goal of the month, under the taking better care of my body umbrella, was to eat some cheese and celebrate with cheese, because I was not allowed to have cheese for 6 weeks while I was waiting to have my gallbladder out. And so, yeah, we have had cheese, and it has been good. I loved it. Weekly action items. I don't know why I even bother trying to do weekly action items every month, because I just ignore them. I did not, however, ignore daily action items this time. Look how good that looks. Look at it. Can you see? Yeah. I didn't keep up with what days I checked in with my planner. I don't know. But I did do a solid job with my 30 minutes outside every day. I only missed that 2 days in the month. There were only 2 days, and one was because it, like, fucking poured rain, and that's why I wasn't outside for 30 minutes that day. Did not do very well with my amino acids and collagen, but I did track it every day. I was good. I started out strong with the PM routine of skincare, and then once I moved in at my parents' house, I just abandoned skincare. Like, I mean, I splashed water on my face and called it a night, and that was skincare. So, yeah, that fell off as soon as I was not living at home. Stretching was a little bit hit or miss, and tracking my macros was solid. I did a good job tracking my macros, and then again, planner check-in, I didn't track it. Okay, now we move on to the month in review page, right? So, people I'm grateful for and why. I put my dad first. I put other people too, but I put my dad, because he was the best dad of all time. And I said I wasn't going to get emotional, and I think I'm going to get emotional. Yeah. You know, as a kid, you always know someday there's going to be a time when your parents aren't around, but it doesn't prepare you for it, and it doesn't make you ready for it. And even with the year of preparing, I mean, I think I'm doing a lot better than I would have been if it had been something sudden and I hadn't. The one thing that I can say is that I don't have anything left unsaid with my dad. You know, I don't think that I had any unfinished business with him or anything like that. You know, I feel very at peace with that, but still, I miss my dad. I miss my dad a whole lot. So he was my first person that I was grateful for in the month of August, that I still had some time with him that month. Second up, I said husband, because husband was like the real MVP of home hospice. Like, husband was able to, like, help with the lifting, which I couldn't do because I was on exercise restrictions. Like, he worked from home over at their house, was able to, like, take breaks immediately whenever my dad needed him. He was just, like, so attentive and good, and just, yeah. And husband also kept me company too whenever I was going through this. Like, I didn't have to feel like I was, you know, alone ever. My shelter aunties and my friend Abby, because they were like my sounding boards and my support team. And Abby was actually like texting with me. She lost her dad to small cell a few years back, and so she was actually like texting with me up until like shortly before my dad passed. Just like kind of, it was kind of strange. It was like she could sense something was going on, and she reached out and was like, I just wanted to check on you. And I was like, hey, I think tonight's the night. And we were able to talk. And so, yeah. And my shelter aunties were there, like, every single step of the way. Like, Danielle, Michelle, and Allison are, like, they are my rocks. And Allison, in this situation especially, she's a former hospice nurse, and so she came over the first night that my dad went on to hospice and, like, sat with him, talked with us, just, like, went over everything. Like, she, and then the whole, you know, she was there for questions anytime I had them. Like, just, I could not fucking ask for better friends than the friends that I have. My friends are so fucking amazing. It's like Golden Girls. We're like the Golden Girls of shelter aunties. Like, yeah. If you don't know what shelter aunties are, by the way, there's 4 of us that met walking dogs at the shelter, and we've, like, become, like, the Golden Girls of shelter dogs. And so that's the shelter aunties. So, and then also I said I'm grateful for my mom, because having her with me throughout this, like, the 2 of us, you know, living together for a while and just relying on each other, like, that has made everything infinitely more bearable. So I had a lot of people to be grateful for this month. I said good things for this month. It's over. What a fucking month. At least I got my gallbladder out. I mean, what I read or listened to, I said I didn't really read anything. I listened to a bunch of Dave Matthews Band, and then we also, like, when we sat vigil with my dad for the 4 days that he was on hospice, we played, like, his favorite music. So we played a lot of Randy Travis and Motown. He loves Chris Bodie, classical music, Alan Jackson, like, all of my dad's favorite music. We just listened to that, like, for the 4 days that we were sitting vigil with him. Goals that are growing well, not losing my mind, I think. I didn't know what to put for this. I just was like, you know what, I'm here, I'm standing, I'm making it through. So that's good for me. I said I'm choosing grace over guilt about the least restful surgery recovery ever had. Yeah, I did not have a very restful. It was like my dad went for radiation the day that I had surgery, and 2 days later he was back in the hospital, and then he was, like, on a really very, very sudden decline cognitively because of the brain tumors. And so, yeah, I really did not. It was like, I would be like, I'm so tired and my incisions are hurting, I need to lie down. And I would lie down, and then palliative care would call. And then I'd be like, okay, get back up, talk on the phone, you know, be on the phone with them for an hour. And then, like, the next day I'd be like, I really just need to take it easy. I'm just going to relax for a little bit and try to, like, let my GI system sort itself out. And then my mom would be like, I need to call you and talk to you about some stuff. And I'd be like, oh, okay. So not restful, necessary, but not a restful recovery. And I'm just trying to, like, I think I got through it okay. I mean, I was not, like, active, but it was, like, mentally active, and I wanted to be, like, mentally, like, chill. My favorite memories from the month, and despite the fact that I said good things about this month or that it's over, I have a lot of good memories from this month. Yeah, let's read through them, shall we? Dave Matthews Band concert. I needed that. My heart needed that. The tequila dinner that we went to with our friends Linda and Erica and Oleg, that was so good. We had such a wonderful time. We really needed to get out of the house at that point, so it was excellent timing. My parents' anniversary dinner, my dad held on long enough to be there for their 47th anniversary. We got Chinese food takeout. It was just a nice night. We listened to Chris Bodie, and I just randomly put on a Chris Bodie mix, and he played their song, like their wedding song, and so that was really nice. I was able to run again, yay! And I felt like normal when I was running. I took my first trip to Sam's Club with my mom. That was very exciting. I've never been to Sam's Club before, and it was, like, kind of overwhelming, but kind of also exciting. Cooking with my mom, we cooked a lot together, trying to, like, I guess grief cooking, I don't know. I like, when I stay over there, we both cook instead of, like, being like, let's just get takeout, which is what husband and I do here, and so it was nice to actually cook. Mom's first taco night, one of the things that we made was we made build your own taco night, and she'd never done that before because my dad didn't like Mexican food, and she was, like, so excited about it. And then there was this huge thunderstorm that lasted, like, literally all night the one day. It was, like, the Thursday before my dad came home from the hospital. We thought he was going to come home that night. He didn't. And so it ended up being, like, working out. And I was, like, at first I was, like, bummed that he wasn't coming home yet, and I, like, worried. And it ended up working out because we had this, like, crazy thunderstorm, and it literally lasted from, like, 7 p.m. until, like, the middle of the night. And it was baller. It was the thunderstorm of the summer. And it was so good. And also, Layla's therapy dog debut. She went to the hospital. We didn't know if Dad was going to be able to come home or not. And so they got special permission to bring Layla in as a therapy dog to meet him. And then all the nurses like came running out to see her. And like another patient came running out of his room to be like, oh, there's that therapy dog. Can I pet her? I was like, well, she's in training. She didn't take her test yet, but she's here. So that was awesome. And then finally I said, watching Hallmark movie with my mom. We watched this Hallmark movie called A Little Daytime Drama. And it was about like one of the writers on the soap opera who had been an item with one of the head actors on the soap opera. And if you ever watched soap operas, which my mom and I used to watch, she still watches Days of Our Lives. We used to watch it when I was a kid together. And if you've ever watched a soap opera, it was like spot on with the like soap opera jokes and like, I don't know, it was just really good. So this month, September, I'm saying no to putting pressure on myself to be perfect regarding fitness or diet. Just gonna let it go, and I'm gonna enjoy the fuck out of whatever we eat on vacation. I'm saying yes to taking care of my mind and body and taking time to take care of myself. And yeah, taking time to do self-care and to be like, no, I need to work on this thing that is important to me because I'm grieving and I need to heal. And taking care of myself and doing the things that build me up emotionally and spiritually, those are important things. So let's talk about September. I have a lot going on. It seems like a lot. It seems like a whole lot. Okay, so my important to-dos for this month. Decorate for autumn. I started that today. My daily band and strengthening exercises for my piriformis and hip because I am ramping up my ultramarathon training and I don't want to get hurt. I'm so paranoid about getting hurt. I have a dentist appointment. I have a doctor's appointment. I have to take my car to be inspected. I have 2 hair appointments because they had to break my hair appointment into 2 things because I have so much going on. Film my December daily flip through, which I did last night, so that's done. I had to do my 5K time trial for my coach. She wanted me to do, I had done a pre-op and she wanted me to do a post-op to see how my time had changed. And I did that today. And guess what? I took like 40 seconds off a mile. I don't know if my gallbladder was just like slowing me down or like, I don't know what was going on, but I was super proud of myself today. And then finally, vacation. We are going away. I'm excited for, you guessed it, vacation. Also, the Alice cocktail night with our friends Juan and Carissa. We actually went to that tonight. That's where I came back from. And I was like, I have to film this because it's my last night that I have to film this. And I did my hair and I'm not filming it when I did my hair. You know, not filming it. I did my hair and I wanted to film it while my hair was done because it's a rare occurrence. That's what I'm saying. Going to see the production of An Odyssey at Shenley Park with Quantum Theater. We did that last week. It was fucking great. I loved it. It was so good. I'm able to walk dogs again, which I did today. Look how I've already done all these things. It's only September 6th filming this, and I've done all these things. December Daily comes out on Thursday. I'm excited to order that. Cheese of the month we had over the weekend. It was super good. It was the cheeses of Holland. It was wonderful. Running and lifting again. Things I'm excited for. Things that are on my mind. Stress of work because it's flu shot season and there's also a pandemic and there might be booster doses, but there are some booster doses and then there may be more booster doses, but no one can really tell us anything yet and it's fucking stressing me out. Also, my payroll got completely jacked up while I was on leave of absence, so I haven't been paid for like 3 weeks. That's a whole different situation. It's stressing me out to the point where I'm like, I can't think about it right now because I have other things that are stressing me out that I am thinking about, and I can only stress about so many things at once. Also on my mind, the world. Why is COVID still here? Finally, am I going to get into a fight with a stranger on the internet? These are the concerns that I have. I am hopeful that this month will be full of stuff that builds my spirit up and helps me feel happy and balanced. My boss will sort out my payroll situation and I will get paid for the hours I have worked. And that California will be perfect, the trip. I mean, it always is, so, you know. Yet again, I am doing my vegetable tracking in my monthly spread. I could have shown you that, actually. Let's take a step back. I'll show you my August. I did fill it out. I had to fill in the last couple of days, but I had 2 vegetables almost every single day, so that's pretty awesome. So I'm doing that again for this month. I just don't like having empty pages, and I'm like, I will write down the vegetables to make sure I'm staying on track of eating at least 2 vegetables a day. So let's talk September. Let's talk September's tending list. All right, starting off, as you know, I love to put Dave Matthews quotes as my encouraging words. So my encouraging words are from the song Two Step. Celebrate we will, for life is short but sweet for certain, because that feels very relevant right now. And my priority is heal. Physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally. I need to get right with some shit in my life. I need to get right with the forest gods when we go out to Sequoia National Park. The desert gods, I'm good with. The forest gods, it's a little spooky. So yeah, I just need to heal and grieve and take care of myself in that way. So, my monthly action items. I put 3 items under established routines for mental and physical health. One of them is I didn't know where else to put it, so it's under that category. The first one is to do a wine inventory update and to chart our clubs. So we're members of a number of wine clubs, and we're going to be going out to California in a few days here, and I want to make a chart of all the clubs that we are a part of, how many times a year they ship, and how many bottles we get each time, so I just have an idea of what's coming in and when to expect it. Next up is to finally file my name change paperwork. I started it, I have most of it filled out, and then I was concerned about not getting it done in time and needing to get on a plane and not having a valid ID because it was in process or something like that. So I set a date, September 27th. I'm off work that day. It's a Monday. I'm going to take my paperwork down to the courthouse and start the fucking procedure, because after we get back from California, I'm not flying anywhere until we go to California again, and I might be flying in February because I might be doing an ultra marathon in Nevada. But that's months. That's plenty of time. They say you need 4 to 6 weeks probably to process your name change paperwork. So this is a good time of year to do it. I don't have anything going on where I need to have my ID to be swipeable or go on a plane or anything like that. So September 27th is the day. I put it on a specific date so that I will stick to it. And then finally, I put in decorate for autumn, because that's my favorite holiday. I love decorating for Christmas too. So I don't know which one is my favorite, but both of them I love to decorate for. So decorating for autumn is on the list. I have then 3 things related to my YouTube channel goal, which is to grow my YouTube channel, film my December daily flip through, and post it. And I filmed it last night. I had hoped to get it edited today. It's just there was too much going on getting ready for the trip. So I'm going to hopefully be able to do it tomorrow morning and get that up. I just want to make sure that it's up a couple days before the thing actually goes live on Thursday. So if I get it up tomorrow, that'll be fine. That'll be 2 full days. Content plan for the month and schedule vacation vlogs. So I still have some backlog of vlogs that I haven't edited and posted yet. So I would like to get a schedule for that, and just kind of content plan when I'm going to post certain videos, just so it's a little more scheduled. I think that will help me grow my audience if I have more consistent posting times. And then I need to make a title page and an about me page on the channel. I have a picture. It's just a picture of me in Death Valley. It doesn't say Fox's best laid plans. It's just me in the desert. I love it here. And I don't really have an about me, but I think that might also help to grow my channel if I have some hey, I am an almost 40 something who loves dogs and talking about mental health. I put it under take better care of my body, because it's going to be making me happy emotionally, spiritually, physically. But I put go to California as the goal. And then finally, I had 2 memory keeping goals. One is to edit all the vacation photos that we take by the end of the month, so try to stay current on them as we're traveling. And then the other one was to complete 2017 for the 365 project. And I wrote a little note to myself here that says on plane ? So if I can get my laptop out on the plane, if we have enough space, then I can work, like I was saying. What I'm doing is just copying the pictures from the folder into another folder, and so I can bulk upload. So I'm going to try to knock out a chunk of this on the plane. We'll see how that works. I only put 2 weekly action items. One was to do 3 YouTube videos, and the other one was to lift at least 1 time a week. So that should be pretty manageable, I think. Maybe the week of vacation I won't be able to lift, but other than that. And then my daily action items are pretty similar to what they were last month. So 30 minutes outside each day, take my amino acids and collagen, planner check-in, and my challenge check-in. I'm doing it. The challenge, the fitness challenge with Diva and the Divine. It's 6-week challenge. This is going to be a rough 10 days because of vacation, and I'm going to be eating delicious, wonderful stuff all day. And then do my PM routine with my skincare to take care of my backup skin because I'm almost 40. I'll be 39 in less than a month. And then what comes after 39 is then you're 40. And I know a lot of people who are 40 or in their 40s and they're not as old as I am. I don't understand it. It's just weird. Then do my band routine or stretch. And then finally do my fucking hoorays every night. So I brought my fucking hooray notebook out again. I don't think I ever talked about it. Maybe I did talk about it. I started doing that last year. My dad got diagnosed because I felt like I was just wallowing in grief and just bad feelings, and my depression was really bad at the time, and anxiety was really bad. So I started writing down fucking hoorays every night. If you don't know what a fucking hooray is, it's from the podcast My Favorite Murder, and they decided to do at the end of podcast, be like, what is your fucking hooray for the week? So it doesn't have to be anything wonderful, I just got a raise and a promotion at work. It can be I tried a new class at the gym and it was awesome. So I really like doing it. I went back and I was reading some of the ones that I did last fall, September and October. And it was just really neat. It was I wrote down specific compliments that I got from my patients at work, or small successes that we had, or a phone call that I had that was really good that I might have forgotten about otherwise. I had a great therapy session the one day and I was oh, it was a great day with Georgia. We covered a lot of things, and that might have gotten lost in my long memory, but it was nice to look back on that. So I'm trying to do those again every day, and I'm a day behind, but I'm getting there. So you can see I did not film this before the start of the month. I filled this out on the 1st, and today on the 6th is the first day I've had a chance to film it. So pretty easy goals this month, just because we are going to be gone for 10 days, and then I've been working a lot of days leading up to that, and then as soon as we get back, I'm going back to work, and then I have a bunch of grown-up adulting things like doctor's appointment, dentist appointment, that kind of stuff, so I just didn't want to put too much pressure on myself. So I think all of this is manageable. I think I can do it. So that is my tending list for the month. As always, I will check back in next month and let you know how all of that goes. Next month also will be the quarterly refresh for the fall, and I am planning on doing that even though I skipped the summer one because I felt like I was in too transient of a space in the summer to do that one, so I will be doing the fall one though. So that'll be an extra long video next time. Oh boy, these are already always so long. So anyway, I hope everybody is having a great start to your fall, because let's be honest, we started fall last month. August starts with AU, so does autumn. And you know where I'm going with this. But now it's September, so it's really, really fall. I mean, it will be fall in 2 weeks. But it's really, really fall right now anyways. I hope you're having a wonderful start to your autumn. If you're doing your power sheets, I hope you're planning all kinds of wonderful, cozy, get ready for hibernation time things. And so please subscribe if you're new here. I do publish 2 videos a week. I do a plan with me every week. I also do a weekly vlog, and then I do these power sheets videos and a couple other things that get thrown in from time to time. And as always, please take care of yourselves and take care of each other, and I will see you in my next video.